In order for God to thoroughly furnish a man, he carries him through a school. That school is called the school of process. God is more interested in making you than in giving you. Whatever you are given, you can lose. But whatever you become, you can replicate again and again. And so even though God, on the strength of his fatherhood, is predisposed to continuously give to us, he is more interested in making us. The first martyrs that encountered Jesus never received from him. He said, "Follow me, I will make you fishers of men." The ones he make sustain the capacity to do what only him can do. But the ones to whom he gave, they came again and again and again to receive. In fact, Jesus multiplied bread and gave to people, and the next day they were looking for him. And Jesus himself testified. He said, "You are not looking for me because you desire me." He said, "You are looking for me because I gave you bread yesterday." So the man who comes to receive will always come again for more. But the man who becomes receives the capacity to replicate that which is given, because he becomes an extension of the dominion of God to a generation and to a territory. There were 7 classes in the school of process that every believer who will have capacity to advance God's kingdom must go through. There is no boycotting classes in this kingdom. No matter what a man attempts to do, if he fails any class in his manifestation, you can trace it if you have spiritual understanding. You can see a man raising the dead, and so much is happening. But when you look at that man, the lack of character in his manifestation will reveal to you that he has violated some classes in the school of process. And you can see a man with all the character required, but there will be a deficiency in power and in manifestation. Even though his character is correct, the deficiency of power is also a revelation that he violated certain classes in the school of process. So for a man to become a perfect and complete minister, there is a route he must follow. You know, the Bible said the scriptures were given to reprove, to correct, to instruct in righteousness, that the man of God may be complete, thoroughly furnished unto every good work. In order for God to thoroughly furnish a man, he carries him through a school. That school is called the school of process. And I said the first class everybody goes through in the school of process is the class of encounters. Samuel was dedicated to God. He lived all his life in the temple, but it doesn't mean he will amount to anything. Sleeping on the altar does not make you a servant of God. Encounters are the beginning of our journey with God. Even though Samuel, upon his winning, was brought to the temple, dropped at the altar. In fact, in 1 Samuel chapter 3, the Bible said when the Ewe lamp were gone off, Daniel was still in the temple. But his stay in the temple did not change his story. What changed Samuel's story was the encounter he had with God. And in 1